Hey, so before we get started, I
Okay.
have a public service announcement.
Do you want this on the podcast?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Okay.
Well, should we wait or you,
I'm not moving along.
wait? What?
I'm not moving.
Woo!
Dang! What?
He
What
already
was
knew.
the
I already knew, but
what
I
was
can be
the
excited again.
What's up?
what was the reasoning behind it?
So basically, like, I only took the position with the fact that Shaylee was going to be able to transfer, like, for sure. And then I guess they're not opening up Starbucks in like LA and Orange County as fast as they are in San Diego. So they were gonna have to ask her to step down in order to transfer. Um, they were gonna push for her to like remain like the same pay, but she would still
Yeah,
have to reassess, re-interview, re-impress. And I was like, no, not a chance.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
I have more confidence in Starbucks as a company than I do with Vitamin Shop, and I was like, I no. Like she's got
yeah.
a good support system, she's got a great boss. Um, so it's definitely uncomfortable, but I told my district manager yesterday, I was like, yeah, no, sorry.
Yeah. No, that's good. Plus, I was a little worried because I don't know how well Vitamin Shop's doing as a company.
Well, and that was the thing. It was like I could ride it out for a little bit, depending on how successful they were going to be, how much I would be paying for rent. But there was just so many hurdles with like finding a place and not being able to go in, and you know, they wanted me to be out there faster than originally planned. It all felt a little forced, so I wasn't hesitant to say no.
Yeah, plus
Yeah,
it's like it's the right call for like you and your family, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
it's
100%. And that's what I told him from the beginning. I was like, it has to make 100% sense for me and my family. If it docks 99%, then I can't do it. Like,
yeah.
yeah.
me shed a doubt in my mind, then I'm not doing the right thing.
And plus, you just don't know if you're gonna go over there and be the axe man who's just like laying people off or stuff like that. Like that could be something that they're looking for.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
then you have that impression of you know what
Yeah,
I
your
mean?
job is laying people off right when you get to town.
well,
That
I'm like,
And then
that
the
sound
like yeah,
ideal.
your team has no faith in you, you know what I mean?
well,
Where
Yeah,
it's
like
just
like,
a
oh
lot of
great.
resentment.
the
Mm-hmm.
uncertainty of everything too is like, Shaylee's got a good boss, she's got a good support system, she's got all these things in place, and it's like, what if I get out there and somebody puts a freaking bag of cocaine in my backpack, because they hate me.
Or something, you know what I mean? They're like, oh, he was, yeah, who knows? He was stealing something,
That's
or you
a
know what I
very
mean? Like,
extreme. That's an extreme scenario.
Yeah.
that
Well,
was an extreme scenario, because then that's more like jail time, not like you get fired. You
But
know?
you know what I mean, though? It's like you never know. Like you can't play the circumstances. Obviously, like I met everybody out there, and they're really cool people. Like I'm not saying they do that, but like, you
That
know,
that honestly just seemed like a diversion. If you know, like if somebody happens to find cocaine in your bag, now you're like, look, I got framed. I said it on a podcast. Like it's look at these witnesses. Like that would never. Somebody's out to get me. I don't know. It's not my drugs.
yeah. No, but I feel good about the decision. I know Shaylee felt really bad. She felt really responsible, and I was like, don't. Like we're good. Like this is the right thing.
Yeah,
I,
some will come along that's like
exactly.
better.
I was like, I feel 100% confident in my abilities. Every job I've ever had, people try to move me up. So like I will find another opportunity, with Vitamin Shop or somewhere else, somewhere down the line. It's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
But yeah, I want to share that with you guys. So
Plenty of opportunities out there, and you just don't know what's going to come your way.
exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just you can't tie yourself down to one thing.
Yeah.
it sucks that we don't know like a recruiter.
Yeah,
Well, it's like I'm still finishing up school too, so like I got shit going in my corner.
Yeah. No, that's good. I know I know we keep doing these video calls, but I'm excited for the day where we all get to be in the same room again.
Yeah.
Do these
yeah.
podcasts in person.
Yeah. And
So,
then
Dude,
I bought my
well,
whole gym set today too. So
oh
nice.
yeah.
What did
Where
you
is it
get?
right now?
Yeah, I want
it's
to see
in the
that.
garage.
Move the
I
camera
haven't
around. I want to see
I
that.
haven't set it up yet. I just bought the squat rack, so that one's not going to be shipped till next week. But I bought the barbell. I bought all the bumper plates. I got a couple 50-pound dumbbells.
Nice.
Me and Dean were talking before I picked it up. He's like, hey, because I bought it on Craigslist. He's like, ask the guy if he has any bigger dumbbells. and he ended up like throwing it on there for me for like a little bit cheaper. But yeah, I mean, like I was looking at like all the prices and stuff after the fact, and I mean, obviously like people on Craigslist are trying to make some money off of it, but I didn't pay a drastic amount more than what I would have paid for it online, and I don't have to wait 6 to 8 weeks for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the big thing.
That's funny. I just bought a bench, just like a flat bench for my room, so I could do like dumbbell press.
Yeah.
Some benches. That I need to get 50s though, because right now 30 is the largest weight I have. But
If you want 50s, I'll give it to you for 275.
275, yeah.
That's what the guy asked for him. Yeah, it's 275. I was like, no way.
Yeah.
You could buy them on Amazon, but they're still expensive. I think I saw it was
about $100.
Yeah, I saw 180 on Amazon for a pair of 250 pounders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But still, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I have a rack so I can bench normally. It was more or less just for like dumbbell stuff. I mean, you can get around it, so I didn't need them, but it would just been nice.
Yeah, for like the 245 pound bumpers, the 225 pound bumpers, 215, 210, a barbell, and I got the weight tree, plus the 50 pound. I spent $1,400.
The weight tree is nice.
Deal.
Yeah, it was a good deal for sure.
Yeah, a weight tree, just gym equipment in general is just a freaking rip off.
No,
but
sure.
it's the logistics behind it. You think about it. You're shipping super heavy things.
Yeah.
And you're taking them from point and most of the stuff's manufactured in like the Midwest, so they have to ship it all the way like across the country in these. Yeah. It's really expensive. Fuel consumption,
like steak or something. I'm like, what?
Yeah, when I had bought my gym equipment originally, I bought like it was all off. I bought it was like the bench, squat rack, and the flat bench off Walmart, and that got shipped to me. Then I bought a Olympic barbell that's like 45 pounds from Amazon. And when I originally got them, I was trying to move it. I'm like, damn, these things are pretty heavy. Had to watch the camera to see like two guys lug it over and like slam it down. They're all pissed off like, fuck, we got this heavy ass delivery today. Yeah, that shit's heavy.
Consumption. You think about it, like there's literally a big trailer truck that's carrying this extra whatever 45 pound plus. Mm-hmm. I mean, if you're buying the actual like hard weights, those stack up quickly because
Trust me, my Jeep was riding low on the way back.
Yeah, that had to be fun.
I'm sure these guys are like whoever this guy is. He could have easily price gouged you.
Yeah, and I was kind of like waiting for that. So like the set for the weights was $895 total, and then I went and I priced it out, and it was $895. Like he only charged me like market value for it.
Yeah.
Well, like a lot of people are like getting fines for price gouging.
Yeah.
Like off eBay and Craigslist and stuff like that. If you try to price gouge, it's illegal to price gouge. So it's like people report them and then, they get a fine. So.
Yeah. Just depends. I feel like certain things it depends on, like essentials that people need to live off of. Yeah. That's messed up. But like gym equipment, you could live without it. But
no, but it's like it's the thing that's in demand. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they know it's in demand. So.
Yeah. So you could make the same argument about like tickets and stuff like that too, which I think that's illegal too. But still.
I'm gonna move my camera over here.
The top of your head's cut off on this now. There it is.
You can't see how messy the room is, and I can stare at the camera better.
Good stuff going on in the Sturdivant house right now.
Yeah, I'm pretty pumped.
Yeah. Nice.
Try to get some shape back that's not so puffy and round.
Dude, your little Jordan, a little sliver. Have you guys been watching that thing, The Last Dance?
Yeah, we'll get into it. Let's do the podcast and we'll get into it.
It's really good. Like I recommend it.
All right, here we go. Ready?
Boys, let's get to it.
Enjoy the show. Enjoy the show. Enjoy the show. Lights, camera, action.
What's up, everybody? We are the Three Amigos and a Podcast, coming to you live from another quarantine separation video, whatever the fuck it's called, episode. Yeah, how you guys doing?
Good, man. Chilling.
Hanging in there. I mean,
we heard
Ryan just hit us with the big news.
Yeah, in the pre-intro, we heard Ryan staying, bought all his gym equipment, all that kind of stuff. I mean, I was going to ask you how your week's been, but I mean, it sounds like it's been on the up and up, so.
Been eventful.
Yeah.
To say the least.
Very nice. How about you, B?
Same old. I finally got my stimulus check as of this morning, so it finally came not in the mail, but direct deposit. So I think for some weird reason they claimed that they didn't have my bank information, but I provided it for them, and so now they were able to send it to me, and it took them like a week and a half.
Nice.
At this point, I think everybody's pretty much received theirs. I know you both have, right?
Yeah.
It's just like the people that don't have direct deposit that got the cut check. I think they still haven't gotten it, but.
Yeah. Well, the crazy thing is I'm like a month or two prior, you took money out of my bank account. So why are you trying to pretend like you don't have my bank information? Like,
when you take it from me, it's no problem, but you give it to me, it's a huge problem.
Yeah, for some weird reason. So, yeah, that was obviously a highlight, and it was Dama's birthday. That was pretty fun. I did some barbecuing at her house. Had some carne asada, some chicken, made some tacos.
By yourself when you got in the house?
What was that?
They Lysol you when you got in the house?
Pretty much, yeah. They are very into it. I took her to Coronado. We kind of just walked around there, kept our distance from people. I'm really trying to like get her to understand like, hey, you can be out and about, but you just got to be smart about it. You don't go into giant crowds. You can still experience life a little bit. Just protect yourself while you're doing it, and so and be responsible. And it was nice. She finally got out of the house, and we did. She's been working on some masks that she's been marketing, that she's been working on for a long time. It's like some material that she's made. So if anyone's interested, she's got them.
I saw you
$10 mask.
I'm in pants.
I know. Begrudgingly, I got them for her. No, she's kind of like she's kind of made the remark in the past, but I think she was a little too
frugal,
proud to say that. Yeah, she's too proud to say that she wanted something super nice like that. And I was like, honestly, I have no idea what I'm going to get you, so I guess I'll get you this. And I got her some
joggers, right?
I got her joggers, and then I got her some like crafting supplies from Michaels.
Nice.
I mean, honestly, I didn't have to. I was planning on taking her to a nice dinner, and we weren't going to exchange gifts this year, but we can't take her to a nice dinner because we're in quarantine. So, it had to change your plans, and I'm like, all right, I would probably spend, going to a nice steakhouse and something, just a nice meal. I'm like, I'll probably spend a little over $100. So let me get you some stuff. And I was telling her, I was like, oh, Ryan says that the stuff's guaranteed for life. So hopefully you didn't make me a liar. But I ordered it online. It came next day. That was crazy. I had less than a week to get the stuff too, and I was a little worried. I'm like, shit, all the stuff that I'm ordering on Amazon saying like it's gonna come after her birthday. So
most of the like clothing places right now are suffering because people aren't buying clothes.
Yeah,
so they get shit out about pretty fast.
Non-essential, and I think their distribution center is in Washington.
Yeah.
So it's
nice.
Pretty close.
Yeah.
They're not shipping across the country or anything like that. So
future for both of you guys though, and your ladies. Well, me and my sister both have the Sweat Collective discount through Lululemon, so we can always. My sister can use it for women. I can use it for guys.
Nice.
Because
all right.
for like for the opposite sex, but like it has to get like delivered to my sister, but like I mean it still saves you some money.
Cool. Looks like I gotta hit up your sister.
Yeah.
I have skinny hips. I prefer the women's one.
Oh no.
No.
Yeah. I was looking. Their sizing's really like odd for at least for women.
Yeah. 0 through then like.
Yeah. I'm like, all right, so a 4 is an extra small, and like a 0 would be triple X small. You're like, what the hell?
Yeah, you're like the 0 fits around my wrist.
It's all those.
Yeah, when it came, I'm like, oh, is this not? This doesn't look like it's gonna fit her, and then it fit her. But I like was reading through some of the comments. It says that like you want to order a little smaller because the material stretches.
Yeah. Yeah, with the pants, kinda. I've actually not had that issue with like the only place I've ever seen it like expand is in the waist, but like the rest of it doesn't.
Yeah.
And most of that's because I eat a whole pizza sometimes.
Well, you're paying for premium. This is premium gym wear. I mean, call it what it is. That's what it is. You're getting good quality stuff, and you're paying a lot for it.
Yeah. Now it's just called premium loungewear.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got her the joggers, which are kind of more jog wear.
Yeah.
Or not jog wear, casual wear.
Just whatever word wear.
Yeah. And yeah, that was about it. She seemed like she had a good time. Outside of that, nothing else really went on. How about yourself?
Very cool. Yeah, I mean, I had a pretty good weekend. I'm still finishing up my bathroom. 2 weeks ago, I tiled it, and I had to take a sledgehammer to the concrete and like dig out this big trench because I was moving the drain. It was like a whole thing. So I cemented it this weekend, which was
good. That's
good.
why you're wearing a tank today, because you're trying to show off the guns.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sun's out, guns out.
I was sledgehammering this cement.
Yeah. I worked out right beforehand, so that's why I was like, oh, I gotta hop on this call real quick. Don't have time. I would have showered, but yeah, worked out. I was watching Cops, so I'm so sweaty.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, besides that, I mean, it's just it's the same old stuff. It's like just staying at home, doing some housework. I think I weed whacked a bunch and sprayed Roundup to prevent it's boring stuff.
Hey, if there's something to do, man, you can come help me clean out the garage.
Okay. I mean, I don't mind that shit.
I'll pay in beer.
You know my language. You know what's funny is so I think Sarah just found this out like a little bit ago. I'm a huge Coors Light fan. Like if somebody paid me in a pack of Coors Light, I would do, you know what I mean? I'll do your yard work. You give me a 12 pack.
Coors Light?
Big Coors Light fan.
Since when? I don't think I've ever seen you drink a Coors Light.
My fridge always has Coors Light.
I can't talk anymore.
I've never seen a Coors Light in your fridge, or I've never seen you. How are you? You're like a poser right now.
Don't even look at me.
For what?
Don't even look at me.
Saying that you like Coors, even though I've never seen you drink a Coors in your entire life.
I'll go get a Coors Light right now.
Sponsor?
I'll go get one right now.
Did we get a new sponsor or something? Like, are you holding out like you're trying to drop the Coors name so we get a little bit of money or something? That's what it is.
So it's like I have different beers for my moods.
Well, we want to sponsor. We want to get sponsored by this.
So like I'm hanging with you guys. I want to have a casual cup of I drink an IPA, drink something good. I'm also like feeling kind of thirsty, relaxed. I go for a Heineken. I just have a hard day's work and I need to rehydrate. Grab a couple Coors.
That's disgusting.
You can't rehydrate with beer, just to let you know. This is not possible.
What are you supposed to hydrate with then?
With water and like.
What's the main ingredient in beer?
All right.
Water.
Yeah, but it's still a diuretic, so it's going to flush all the water that's already in your system.
Whatever. Yeah, I'm a huge Coors fan. I think she just figured that out. It was kind of funny.
Well,
yeah.
Excuse to me.
speaking of controversial topics, as I was just bringing up Coors, I got to ask you guys a scenario question and let's see how you answer it. If you became a superhero, right? Like, let's say you go through a Spider-Man type thing. Would you, one, would you leave, like, your girlfriend? And then two, would you stop talking to us?
What kind of question is that?
Just think about it. Think about it and answer appropriately.
That's the Coors Light talking now.
Answer it.
Yeah. So you're saying that are we sellouts? Are we gonna basically bail out on our homies because?
No, he's saying it's like
that.
No, like you know, in Spider-Man and like the crappy Andrew Garfield ones where he's like, I can't be with you because people can't know. Or no, that was Tobey Maguire.
I'm just seeing which way would you guys go? What would you guys do?
I would keep living my normal life, man.
Yeah, why? I would definitely keep it private. I'd be like I would try to do what they're doing, where I'm like, all right, I'm not even gonna tell my closest friends and people that are closest to me because I don't want to endanger their safety because it's kind of
that's my thing. I would just I'd be like, okay, we're gonna have to have a big public thing, and then we could be friends on the side. Like, you know what I mean? I got to keep everybody safe. I got to keep you guys safe. I can't.
I have a press conference. I'd be like, I am the manta ray.
So are you trying to say like the newer Spider-Man, his like the fat, like whatever Filipino Asian guy, he's like in on the whole thing from the beginning.
Yeah.
Right? Is that what you're talking about? And like as opposed to the previous Spider-Mans where no one really knew until Mary Jane found out later on.
I just use Spider-Man as like an example. I mean, it doesn't have to. You don't have to live Spider-Man's life.
No, dude.
Well, no. Yeah, but he's like one of the few characters that's been done enough where you've seen both sides of it, where he's told people publicly who he is, or at least people more than just one or two people, and then
I'd tell you guys.
I don't know. I'd keep it a secret, but
you said that you would tell your loved ones and your closest friends. You wouldn't tell us, Brandon?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I said I wouldn't tell them because I wanted to protect their safety.
I don't give a shit. I'd be like, I am all powerful. I will protect you.
But what if you had to choose between all of us?
What do you mean?
Between you.
Like, what if it was like Shaylee's being dangled over sharks, I'm like on the highest thing, and then Brandon's on railroad tracks. Like, you can't save us all. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't want to be in that situation.
First of all, if I'm a superhero, that doesn't seem like a problem to me.
Well, that's what happened in I think one of them, right? He had to choose between like his grandma and Mary Jane or some shit like that, or
something like that. Yeah, I forget what it was.
No, he had to choose between Mary Jane and like a car full of people or whatever.
No, it was Mary Jane and Two-Face, Harvey Dent.
No, Mary Jane. No. That's Marvel and DC.
No, yeah, you can't be.
Oh yeah, I'm not Mary Jane. Who was the
Rachel?
Yeah, there you go. That's what I was thinking.
What? Oh, you're thinking Harvey Dent, Rachel from Batman.
Yeah.
That doesn't count though. The Joker's a dick, so I mean.
That was good. That was a good movie. All those were good.
Love those.
Still my favorite trilogy of all time, the Dark Knight trilogy.
That's great.
All three of them are like in my top 20.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Brandon was mentioning it before we started the podcast, but have you guys been watching any of this The Last Dance?
I haven't watched.
Dude, it's really good.
So, I'm actually gonna move my camera back over here so that you can see the MJ poster.
I don't even know what channel it's on.
It's on ESPN.
It's on ESPN. So you can pull it if you have an Apple. Do you have an Apple TV or you have any streaming device? If you have an ESPN app, they will let you watch on there for free.
Okay.
I just go on my iPad to ESPN and watch it that way.
I mean, I'll definitely watch it. I was just kind of waiting because there's 10 episodes, right?
Yeah, they're episodes.
There's gonna be, and they release 2 every Saturday.
They're getting better. The first few episodes was good, and I feel like last week was like really crazy. Just
last week was crazy. They went through the whole like Pistons rivalry thing. They did the Rodman. It's the way they film it too is really cool.
I will say this, and I'm sure they do this by design because they're trying to stretch it 10 episodes. They don't run it chronologically. They kind of bounce around, and it does sometimes kind of like jumble up where things are. But overall, man, they did this right. And I don't know if this is just because we're deprived of sports, but this is like the highlight of the week is seeing these videos.
Well, it's just like really cool that it's kind of like all access into like the Bulls and Michael Jordan's life and like that kind of thing. It's just really cool to see all that. I don't know.
So did you see that Isaiah Thomas went on the jump and talked to, or not Isaiah Thomas,
Isaiah Thomas.
Isaiah Thomas.
No, but Isaiah Thomas, but it wasn't him. It was the I can't think of his name right now. Well, anyways, when they got swept by the Bulls, they basically walked past their bench and didn't shake hands with them and created this bad blood with.
Fuck, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, I can't think of his name right now. I'm drawing a blank. Yeah. But anyway, he went on the jump and basically contradicted everything Isaiah Thomas has been saying. He's been saying like, hey, at the time we thought this was acceptable because the Celtics did it to us a couple of years ago, and this isn't bad form. It was just looking back, it has a bad look, but at the time it didn't seem that wrong. And
it was like, this is how you pass the torch. Like that's how you pass the torch.
And basically later on he's like, no, we fucking hated them. We lost to them because we were getting old and they were on the upswing, and you're like, all right, dude, like.
Yeah, the guy even said he was like
Bill Laimbeer.
Bill Laimbeer. There you go.
Bill Laimbeer, and I was like, all right, dude, like get over this. Like this is like.
He even said he was like, if I went out to dinner with Michael Jordan right now, I'd punch him in the face.
Like, damn, dude. And Jordan hates him. You could see his face. It's just crazy. And then they like let Dennis Rodman go to Vegas for a few days in the middle of the
hours. Yeah.
Just to like let loose. And he's with like Carmen Electra, and Michael Jordan basically has to bring him back to start playing again.
Ryan, you need to catch up and watch it because I want to talk about it, but I don't want to ruin it for you.
Okay.
I don't want to spoil it for you. It's 4 episodes. They're like an hour each. They just keep getting better and better. They're incredible.
Man, I got nothing but time on my hands, so I'll watch them. Now I know where to find them.
So let me ask you this, because like obviously this is a cool insight into one of the arguably greatest basketball player that's ever played the game, just an icon, a mogul, kind of thing. Who what other athlete would you like to see this kind of in-depth lifestyle of?
Well, I feel like it'd have to be an older athlete, just because the newer athletes, I think we already got a pretty decent insight in their lives, and just because the way the media is, like social media is, you really get to understand and develop this relationship with these players, and so much about building a brand as opposed to how it was in the past.
I would probably say Tom Brady.
That's a good one.
That'd be an interesting one.
Really good one.
Because like what you're saying, like a lot of these athletes now are like their lifestyle is a brand. So like you kind of already know what's up with LeBron James. Like maybe some of the behind the scenes stuff would be like him as like a GM player hybrid, like some of those stories that came out. With Kobe, I mean, now that he's not with us anymore, I think it would be harder to watch, and I wouldn't like. I would
be more of like a tribute, not a documentary.
Like he can't back himself now, so I just think that they should avoid that at all costs. Like you're saying, if it's a tribute, but it's like if it's one side versus another, it's like you can't do that because one side's not there.
Exactly.
But Tom Brady, I feel like would be cool. You could dive into like his relationship with his players, his off the field life, because I mean the dude has like 2 baby mamas. Like
I like that one.
There's some drama there that never gets talked about.
Yeah. Brandon, what about you? Who do you think?
The first guy that came to my mind was Tiger Woods. I think Tiger Woods would be fantastic.
That was mine too.
That's a really good one.
Yeah, that was mine too. I was like, watch like the life of Tiger, watching it from like if they did like a childhood thing, then through like his marriages.
Yeah,
like all that kind of stuff. I agree. Tiger Woods would be amazing.
So I wouldn't pick any baseball players, nothing against baseball, but I'm looking at sports where one guy can make a huge impact on an entire sport. And Tom Brady plays the most important position in football, so I think that one works. And I think quarterback would probably be the only position that would work for in the NFL. But you're looking at Michael Jordan's really shaped the sport. I think Tiger Woods has changed golf more than you could probably make the argument that out of any figure, he changed that sport more than any other sport.
There also has to be a level of interest for the player.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what you mean, like not that it has to be the best player in their sport, but you got to be pretty high up there. It's like you couldn't be like, oh, let's watch something on Chad Ochocinco. It's like, I don't really give a shit. We already know he's a train wreck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, I like Tiger. I love the Tiger one. I thought the same thing. I was like, I would love to see this kind of life of Tiger type of thing. The other one, in like the sense of football, is I would like to see one about Peyton Manning. Like you could do a whole thing just on like the Manning family, like that whole kind of legacy. I think that would be really interesting.
Or that bit that he had on ESPN the other day with the whole fake kneel at the Ed Hockley.
No.
It was kind of like a behind the scenes, like
talking about Peyton Manning or
yeah, Peyton Manning. He was doing this interview on ESPN and they were talking about his fake kneel that he had tried to pull one time, and Ed Hockley was the referee, and it didn't work because
he blew the whistle.
No, he didn't get very far, and it was kind of a blown play. Look it up though. It's kind of funny because Ed Hockley like came over and he was like, Peyton, what are you doing, man? Like I don't even know how to call this. They had like 6 guys off sides and like half their team was on the field running back to the locker room. Like, what are we doing?
That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard a thing where they were talking about like, I forget who the offensive coordinator was at the time, but they were just talking about how such a field general Peyton was, and how a lot of people think that. Like he was always like a fast tempo, like a quick tempo type of offense. But in reality, if you watch it, it's like he gets up to the line, he reads the defense, and he almost takes up the whole clock. Maybe it's like an under 10 snap kind of thing.
I remember they were saying Philip was doing a little similar.
Yeah.
Similar offense.
Yeah. They were saying that like as soon as he let the ball go, he wanted the next play in his ear, and he would give him 2 plays. As soon as the ball was let go, it was like you had to figure out 2 plays that you could give him that he can decipher which one he wanted. It was like he was that much of a field general, and I thought that was really interesting. I was like, you don't hear those kind of behind the scenes thing ever. So
he's honestly one of the best football minds to ever play the game.
Yeah.
I think you'd be hard pressed to find someone who was better, honestly.
Hey, let's talk about the NFL draft.
All right, before we talk about the NFL draft, sponsor FNXFit.com, promo code 3amigos, 15% off. So use our code and get some good stuff. Started digging into their protein and got the vanilla milkshake. It's pretty good. Yeah, vanilla milkshake.
They have some good chocolate too, and
yeah, they got a good chocolate one. They're actually doing a stimulus discount right now, so everything on their site's 50% off. So 50%, you can add our 15 on top of it, and that is how much, Brandon?
15 plus 50?
Yeah.
65% off.
Hey, points to Brandon.
Hey.
Let's see if I can do some emojis on here. Good job. All right, NFL draft. Last week we had some fun sports shit going on. We did our live stream of the NFL draft. That video is going up on YouTube eventually. All right, Ryan, tell us who's your winner in this draft. What team did the best in your opinion?
Are we talking about first round or the whole draft?
All right, let's just do it. Well, yeah, both, I guess. Give us both.
Well, I'll give you the winners for the whole draft. I think definitely looking at the Indianapolis Colts and the weapons that they brought in. Obviously, they traded away their first-round draft pick for DeForest Buckner, 49ers, so they added a huge piece already on day one. Obviously, that trade was completed a couple weeks ago. And then, boom, in the second round, they picked up Michael Pittman and Jonathan Taylor, wide receiver and a running back. Given Phillip Rivers all the weapons that he needs, they already have a really stout offensive line. They've addressed the defense in the past NFL drafts. This is the first time in the longest time I can remember that they've really gone in and picked up some offensive weapons. So I think the Colts, they made out huge in this draft.
All right. First round, do you have another? Is that your biggest winner, I guess, the Colts?
No, I think like the Cowboys definitely came away really big with CeeDee Lamb falling to them. Obviously, it's not a huge need, but when a player of that skill set and that caliber falls to you, you kind of just got to take them. Plus, it's another weapon for Dak Prescott. You know, it opens up Amari Cooper or CeeDee Lamb. The Cowboys should be looking great.
It seemed like wide receivers kind of slid a little more than I think everyone anticipated, right?
Deep. Like one of the deepest drafts. I don't remember if it was KJ Hill was the 7th round pick for the Chargers. That dude, he might be the biggest steal of the draft. I don't think anybody thought that he would fall to the 7th round, but there was just that many receivers. So when they all started sliding off the board rounds 1 through 4, the rest of the skill set players just fell through down to the bottom. And I'm sure there's a lot of undrafted players out there too that are going to be putting in some work for some NFL teams.
Are the Raiders your biggest loser for drafting the wide receivers they did?
Biggest loser? No, but they're up there for multiple reasons. I can't for the life of me understand the Henry Ruggs deal, or Henry Ruggs pick when Jerry Jeudy, CeeDee Lamb, even Justin Jefferson were on the board. Is a typical pick for the Raiders. They go after speed. And I heard one analysis talk about it after the draft was over, and he said, well, you can't teach speed. And my argument would be that the Raiders have had speed in every single wide receiver they've ever drafted. They've never had enough talent. So, I mean, when you look at a player like Keenan Allen or Michael Thomas or Jarvis Landry, players that slid past the first round because maybe they didn't have the top-end speed that some of the other players did, that's when a player's ability, such as route running, creating space, knowing how to track back to the ball when they're running a route. Those are the things that you need to look at, not just how fast they can burn down the field.
Yeah, I agree.
I think we all would agree on that.
Yeah. My other big loser for the draft was the Packers. I know this is probably an argumentative topic for most, but I despise the pick of Jordan Love trading up for him at the end of the first round. I think it was the stupidest thing the Packers could have done.
I think that's the masses. It's kind of like what everyone's thinking. I
think we're all in agreement.
Like justify it, and I'm like, you can't justify this. You were in the NFC Championship game this year. You need more weapons to keep up with these other teams. And what did you do? You drafted Aaron Rodgers competition?
Yeah.
I saw a stat on, I think it was ESPN. He's only thrown one touchdown to a first-round pick his entire career.
Yeah. That's
Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, and it was to Mercedes Lewis, who they traded for in 2018. So it's not even a guy that they drafted.
Yeah. I also didn't like the Eagles' first 2 picks. I felt like Jalen Reagor out of TCU. I mean, you look at the track record of TCU wide receivers. They don't have the same success in the NFL. Justin Jefferson was still on the board. Michael Pittman was still on the board. The guy the 49ers drafted, who I think could be one of the best wide receivers in the draft. Who is it? What's his name? One second here. He's from Arizona State. I'm I'm blanking on his name. Yeah, can't remember. But I just feel like Jalen Reagor's probably like a more of a special teams guy, not somebody that needed to be drafted on day one. And same thing. They drafted Jalen Hurts in the second round, and I know I talked to Dean a little bit about it after the fact, and it's like he's more of a piece to just in case Carson Wentz gets hurt. But now thinking about it, man, it's a slap in the face to Carson Wentz. You know, the Cowboys got better. Their offense got faster. They got more weapons. And even if you weren't sure about, you know, who you were taking in the first round, maybe the guy that you were going to get wasn't there anymore, you could have used that second pick to trade up higher in the first round to get the guy you wanted, and you wouldn't have drafted a quarterback, because that's a slap in the face to Carson Wentz.
Yeah, I agree. My biggest winner is I like what the Arizona Cardinals did. You know, with Isaiah Simmons falling to them, I thought but initially I was thinking they needed to go Tristan Wirfs. They needed an O lineman, somebody to protect Kyler Murray. But when Isaiah Thomas falls to him, they took it. You know what I mean? They went best player in the draft. I like that move. Then they also in the third round picked up an offensive tackle. So, you know, I thought that was a good kind of like supplementary pick. It wasn't a deep draft for offensive linemen, but I think the talent pool that was out there was relatively even. So I like the pick. My biggest losers were the Bears. They went a tight end in the first round, which they didn't need.
Now?
Huh?
Don't they have like 6 now?
That's what I'm saying. It was like a tight end is not a position that you need to address. Then also the corner that they did draft has a huge injury history. So you go after a player you don't need that's not a team need, and then you draft a guy that is a team need but has a lot of injury history. Like
that was like what the Raiders did too with their second first round pick. That cornerback, I can't remember what his name is, but another one where it's like, no.
Yeah, the Raiders were also my losers, obviously, for the things that you said. Then also they traded up to the 19 to get that D end out of Ohio State. Like, what was that about?
What?
Didn't they trade up?
No.
Or who am I thinking of that traded? Somebody traded up in the
Didn't
first.
the Chargers trade out?
No, there's somebody else though. I like the Chargers draft, but I thought the Chargers had a great.
I'll get to the Chargers draft, but
they do a good job in general drafting and developing players.
Yeah.
The latter portion of the player development that they struggle with.
They took Damon Arnett out of Ohio State. And my big thing with this pick, you cannot justify drafting a player that's the 60th ranked player, even if he averages out on 60 on people's boards, in the top 30.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's exactly my point. That
you have 2 picks in the first round. You can't justify.
Oh, yeah, sorry, they didn't trade up for it, but they had a second pick in the first round. Sorry, that's my fault. I thought they traded up, but last year. That's the thing. I don't understand that pick at all.
Yeah,
that makes no sense, especially when last year your number 1 pick overall was a defensive end as well.
Yeah.
Like, that should be a position that you feel solid at now.
Well, and then look at this, too. Like, all these draft picks are what they got from Amari Cooper and Khalil Mack. Not one of these dudes that they've drafted is going to
matches up to their talent.
Not even all 3 of them together, or 4 or 5 of them. I know they've had like 5 picks the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Josh Jacobs is a good running back. I mean, I'll give him that, but like, none of these other picks make any sense.
And even him, he's scary because he was playing like 4 games with a broken shoulder blade or a broken shoulder. So it's like, how well is he going to recover from that kind of thing? Who knows?
I love that. The one other team I forgot to give a shout out to was the Ravens.
So so that was also my second one. I think the best pick in the draft was the Ravens. Ryan, we talked about it after the draft, was them drafting J.K. Dobbins. I think that was a huge pickup for them. While Mark Ingram is an amazing rusher and he fits so well into that offense, he is getting he's not really getting old, but
running. He's
got miles on him. So
and he got hurt.
Dobbins, exactly. J.K. Dobbins fits perfectly into that same style of rushing, and I think that's my best pick of the draft.
Yeah. I love that pick. J.K. Dobbins to the Ravens. I like Patrick McQueen. They stood back. They, got the guy that they needed. He's gonna plug in perfectly with that defense.
Yep, I agree.
Hello. Oh, sorry.
My worst pick in the draft, and we already talked about it with the Eagles, as well as the Packers drafting backup quarterbacks, is the Bills. I just don't understand why they drafted Jake Fromm. I'm not saying that what's his name? It's Drew. Is it Drew Lock?
No, you're thinking of Josh Allen.
Josh Allen, there you go. Like, Josh Allen is a perfectly sized quarterback. It was his rookie season last year or second season, whatever it was. Last year he played great for the Bills, got him, to the playoffs, all that kind of stuff. So I just don't understand why you needed another young quarterback to back him up. It just, to me, that doesn't make any sense to me. So
yeah,
I didn't understand that pick.
Especially when you look at like the third round after the second round, third or fourth round quarterbacks that had high grades on them. I'm talking about like 80 and above, people that could have been a first round draft pick depending on how deep the draft is. Not to say that that's where he would have fallen, but he did have an 80 or above grade. If they fall to you in the third or fourth round, there's one reason that you draft them, and it's quarterbacks are used as currency.
Mm-hmm.
There's no other reason to draft a quarterback then, unless you think that at some point down the line, nobody that you want, or the next guy on your board is a lot lower down than what you think, or you think you can trade up and get him. You take him because at some point you think that you'll be able to flip this guy. And that's unless you have an aging quarterback or you don't have a quarterback at all. Those are the times you normally see drafts like that. But quarterbacks are currency, and if you have a guy that can show out at all, then you'll be able to flip him. I'm not saying I love the pick, but that's the way it makes sense to me.
I understand what you're saying. For me, it's just more or less like, I get what you're saying from an organizational standpoint, all that stuff, and that totally makes sense. To me, it's just like, you just got your guy. Why are you now bringing in like potential competition? Not saying that it is competition, but you have to give him a shot if you drafted him,
I wonder, though, how much of this was playing defense for the Patriots, because
I agree.
Loser in this draft was the Patriots for not drafting a quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
I think that you can have as much confidence in the world in Jared Stidham. I mean, I personally think that Stidham would have been either a first round or a second round draft pick in this year's draft. I think he's that good, or at least he was that talented coming out of college.
Yeah.
But no matter what, you have to breed competition because Brady's no longer there, and it's an open spot now. So the fact that they didn't, it makes me wonder if the Bills saw him there and were like, ooh, well,
we have to.
Yeah. I mean, if we take him here, maybe the Patriots don't get him.
Yeah. All right, Ryan. Well, the time has come. Give us your Chargers draft review. I'm going to step away because this part isn't really that important. So.
Stop. No. What are you doing?
I'm not really going away.
Don't worry.
All right, go.
What's that all about?
Okay, go.
I really liked what the Chargers did with their draft this year, for two reasons. Justin Herbert is somebody that I feel like is going to play sooner than Tua is. Tua's injury history concerns me so much. The fact that he's not going to be like hit within a year, and then he's going to be expected to come in and start competing, and then they're talking about him not even playing the first year. So we're going to go 2 years without this dude seeing live game contact. It's concerning. He might end up being the best quarterback in the draft, and that's fine. Good for the Dolphins. But I think Justin Herbert is a special talent that's going to be surrounded by a good team. And I think he's going to have the ability to come, maybe like week 5 or 6, be able to push Tyrod Taylor for a starting spot. Outside of that, trading back up into the first round, getting the linebacker that they needed. Not very often you see a team give up their second or all of their second day picks. but we've talked about this for a long time. The Chargers have had small linebackers, and they are not as fast. They're not as strong. They give up the most yards per carry like than any team in the NFL. And this dude's a leader. Sorry, I'm trying to pull up his name. I know it's like Kenneth Murray or something like that.
Yeah, while you're looking for the name, I love, like, I don't like to, like, commend the Chargers for what they do, especially like after breaking my heart and leaving us. But, they saw that this draft wasn't particularly deep at like on the defensive side of the ball, particularly at linebacker, and they made the necessary moves to go up and get the guy that they wanted. I don't feel like the Chargers had a lot of team needs going into the draft. I thought last year was kind of like a fluke for them, especially coming off that 13-3 season or whatever it was. So, for them to find themselves at the 6th pick, I think was like a huge mistake on their part. I think it was just a fluke season kind of thing. They weren't that far off. So I think addressing their need at quarterback, which they did initially at the 6th pick, and then also seeing that the draft isn't especially like particularly deep and they're not really going to be able to do a lot of things the second day, to move up and get, a stud linebacker that they needed, like it's perfect.
Absolutely. I mean, I was so excited when I saw him trade back into the first round. I was like, I don't know which direction they're going. Is it offensive line? Dean was actually the person who was like, I think they're going linebacker. And he called it. He's like, this big dude out of Oklahoma, like, watches, they're going to come off the board. And sure enough, 6'2", 241 pounds, been a defensive captain at Oklahoma. I'm really excited. The next few picks, I think the only one I didn't care for was the safety out of Notre Dame, and I'm going to butcher his name. It's Alohi Gilman. I think it's more of a special teams pick for sure. They love Notre Dame guys. They draft one every year, I feel like.
Yeah, they love Notre Dame guys. It's kind of funny.
They picked up Joshua Kelly out of UCLA, running back, Joe Reed out of Virginia, wide receiver, and KJ Hill, wide receiver out of Ohio State. Honestly, I think KJ Hill probably could have gone number 5 where Joe Reed went, but both of these dudes are speed burners on the inside. They can play slot or outside, so it'll be nice complementary pieces to Mike Williams, Keenan Allen, and Hunter Henry. Plus, you're going to get some dudes that can – I know Joe Kelly played some running back as well in college, so another dude that can probably come in, play some special teams, thump some people around. Overall, I mean, they definitely hit it out of the ballpark with their first 2 picks. I think that betting on quarterbacks, like first-round quarterbacks, it's a loser's gamble, But it's a gamble that has to be taken because if you look at all the teams in the NFL, from top to bottom, they have a quarterback that's either a future Hall of Famer, a potential MVP, or a guy that does everything he's supposed to do. And when that's the most important position on the field, like, you have to take chances. And I don't think, like, even looking at the Christian Ponders, Blaine Gabberts, all of these guys that have been drafted in the first rounds that were busts, I don't think you hold it against the teams for taking a chance on a player.
Yeah, I don't either. And
Blake Bortles with the Jaguars, like, they still made an AFC Championship appearance with him.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, you can't 100% hold that against them because they almost got to where they needed to be with that guy.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I mean, you can't fault an organization for taking a chance on the guy that they think could be the guy. So
yeah. What was I going to say?
So overall, I know draft grades coming out, like, they're speculation. They're like how Yahoo gives away like their fantasy draft ratings. By the way, I got the lowest score last year and I won our fantasy league. Mm-hmm. I just thought you guys needed that reminder.
Yeah.
I got the highest grade.
I'm the rating champion. I just want you guys to remember that.
I think ultimately the Raiders, the Eagles, and the Packers were the 3 worst drafts this year. When I look at the
no, sorry. Overall, what would you give the Chargers draft grade?
I'd probably give them like a B plus.
Okay.
I think solid B is probably more comfortable because I don't think they have. I mean, outside of trading back into the first round, it's hard to give anybody an A that doesn't have a pick in every single round. So not it's 2 and 3. It's like those are some quality players there as well that you're missing out on. But I think that they filled a lot of needs while simultaneously getting the best players available for them. And like I said, anytime you take a quarterback, like I have a hard time giving you an A. Like it's
it's such a risk.
It's a huge question mark. It's a huge risk.
Yeah.
So I'd give him a B, and I'd even give him a B for the Herbert pick. But I would have given him a B if it was Tua or Justin or Joe Burrow as well.
All right. Very nice. Let's switch over. We had a little bit of MLB news. Yeah. What? Oh, sorry.
I put together this fun little bit for you guys. I was really bored a couple days ago.
I love when you guys come up with bits. It's so much fun.
And I went through all of the drafts from 2000 to 2019. Technically, I didn't. Obviously, we're talking about the 2020 draft right now.
Jeez, you were bored.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
So I looked at all of the quarterbacks that were drafted in the first round, and I kind of broke it up into like decade versus decade, because we look at some of these players. We've idolized the draft with Ben Roethlisberger, Eli Manning, and Phillip Rivers, and then we kind of think that all these new and up and coming quarterbacks are like the shit, like they're the guys.
Mm-hmm.
So I just wanted to break down some numbers for you real quick.
Okay.
So in the NFL currently, 19 of the 32 starting quarterbacks were first round picks. So a little bit more than half.
Yes, good amount.
From 2000,
almost 2/3.
Yeah, like 2/3.
Yeah. From 2000 to 2010, there was about 11 out of 27 noteworthy quarterbacks that were drafted. You could make an argument there for like maybe 14, depending on how you rate Chad Pennington and Rex Grossman. That was from 2010 to 2009, or 2000 to 2010. Fast forward from 2011 to 2019, we have 2 MVPs. We have 4 offensive player of the year. I'm not doing rookie of the year because that's a dumb award if you're drafting the first round as a quarterback.
Wait, repeat that part.
I'm not doing rookie of the year.
No. Sorry, before that.
Okay, 4 offensive players of the year.
Yeah, 4 offensive players a year. If you look at most of the players that were drafted, you see we have 4 MVPs. No, 3 MVPs. So Cam Newton, Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes. You had Jared Goff and Carson Wentz both had a Super Bowl appearance. One of them had a Super Bowl win, even though he wasn't playing. You had Blake Bortles in an AFC Championship game, Andrew Luck in an AFC Championship game, Cam Newton in a Super Bowl. It's pretty loaded. The argument that I was making is that teams are drafting quarterbacks better now than they were in the past. If you look back into like the 2000 era, Michael Vick, I mean, bust or not, I mean, you can say what you want there.
There's no way anybody could call Michael Vick a bust.
I think
no way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, maybe from like playoff wins type thing, maybe, but he was the most dominant player for, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, he was
3 years. Before he went to jail, he was like one of the most dominant players.
Yeah. He won Comeback Player of the Year, so I would definitely not call him a bust. Drew Brees was technically drafted number 32. Somebody forfeited a pick, so he was technically a second-round pick, but I threw him in here anyways. But he's never won a league MVP, but he has won a Super Bowl MVP. The next year you have David Carr, Joey Harrington, and Patrick Ramsey. So bust. And then the next year it was Carson Palmer, Byron Leftwich, Kyle Bowler, and Rex Grossman. Again, Carson Palmer, like he made it to 3 Pro Bowls.
He had a late rise.
Yeah.
You know.
Then we had the big year with Eli Manning and all those guys. Next year was Alex Smith, Aaron Rodgers, Jason Campbell.
So I mean, 2 of the 3, I would say.
Yeah. And then the next year was Vince Young, Matt Leinart, and Jay Cutler.
That one's tough.
Jay Cutler.
I'd say Jay Cutler is pretty good.
Jay Cutler was really good. I mean, Vince.
So yeah,
pretty good.
Yeah.
He was pretty good, not great.
Yeah, he was pretty good, not great. I think Vince Young could have
2 Pro Bowls, but he retired too early. He had the worst drop off out of any quarterback I've seen.
That's what I was gonna say. Like Vince Young could have been something a lot better. So I would almost call him a bust.
This is where it gets fun though. So the last few here, Jamarcus Russell and Brady Quinn, hard bust.
Hard bust.
The next year was Matt Ryan and Joe Flacco.
I would not call either of those a bust.
Neither of those a bust.
They've done well. They've both been to Super Bowl. One's won one.
And Joe Flacco was a Super Bowl MVP. So yeah. And then the last one was Matt Stafford, Mark Sanchez, and Josh Freeman. Basically, I give you all these names because we look at the quarterbacks that are constantly drafted and, the teams that are moving up to get their guy or tanking for their guy. And you can kind of see a theme. And it's about 50% of the quarterbacks drafted in the first round end up going on to have successful NFL careers. That's actually a huge percentage if you think about it. 50% of first-round draft picks over the last 20 years have gone on to either have Pro Bowl, award-winning, Super Bowl appearances, whatever it may be, a plethora of those things. So when teams when analysts sit there and argue, oh, well, the Chargers or the Dolphins, they shouldn't have taken this guy. If you're picking in the top 10 and you don't have a quarterback, you have a 50% chance of changing your franchise. If you're a GM, are you taking those chances?
Yes.
Absolutely.
I mean, there's a reason why teams never draft 2 quarterbacks in a draft. You see it with every other position. They might draft 2 wide receivers, 2 offensive linemen, DNs, whatever it's going to be, because they're not as impactful. Like, yes, they are still important pieces and they're going to serve a good purpose for your organization, but they're not the leader of your offense. They're not going to be able to take over a game. You know what I mean? Like a quarterback, if you can get a good quarterback, that is something extremely special. Like we see it with other positions like Khalil Mack. Like he is an extremely talented player. Von Miller, those kind of guys, they're extremely talented pieces and they're like once in a generation talent, but they're not going to win you that Super Bowl like a quarterback is going to.
How many Ray Lewis won 2 Super Bowls, but how many seasons did he have that they were under 500?
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
And then like the biggest thing is like 2/3 of quarterbacks in the NFL were first round draft picks. Obviously some of those are recent, so they're still in that feel out period. But if you look at some of the other players like the Derek Carrs, the Andy Daltons that were still like second round draft picks, that's still pretty high draft pick.
Mm.
The Russell Wilsons, the Tom Bradys, the Tony Romos, those are so few and far in between that you have to take an opportunity when you see one.
But it's not only that, but it's also like team need. Like, hell, I was just talking shit about the Bills drafting Jake Fromm so low. You know what I mean? It's like it's a guy you don't need, but he's out there. If it's a competition, whatever your reasoning behind it is, you still went out and drafted him. Jake Fromm could, like you said, he had an 80 grade. He can take over an organization the same way that Tua could, that Justin Herbert did. Like, you know what I mean? He could have the same opportunity. So
my favorite one to talk about is the year that the Redskins drafted RG3 with the second overall pick, and then they drafted Kirk Cousins in the 4th round, and everybody gave them shit.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody. Look who's still playing in the NFL as a starter.
Yeah,
Kirk Cousins. So I mean, depending on where the players fall, it's like you have to take an opportunity on the guy, which they did. They saw another opportunity where they thought another guy had the potential to be a starter as well. And I feel like that trend with the Bills and what they've done should be more like taking the best player available when you can is more beneficial, because there's no such thing as a sure thing. But when your organization has a better chance of winning a Super Bowl with a quarterback, and there's a 50% chance that that's going to hit, you take that chance every time.
Yeah.
Like I bet
100% agree.
There's no regrets for the Jaguars taking Blake Bortles. There's no regrets for the Vikings taking Christian Ponder. Rex Grossman going to the Bears. Like, there's no regrets with those picks. Or with those picks.
Yeah, I agree. It's a great point. Great point. I just got an extremely troubling text message. Sarah is cooking dinner tonight, and she just texted me, I literally just gagged from my cooking. So I'm real excited.
Well,
and then I just heard her do a gross cough. All right. Awesome. What?
That's your future.
That's why I'm the one that always cooks.
What's she making?
I think she was trying to make curry because I bought this curry powder and I made it before and it was decent, but yeah, super excited for that. Anyways, transition over to we're going to talk about baseball. They're planning to come back. I heard it could be early as June. So I mean, I don't know if that's. I honestly don't know with time anymore. Like if that is a reasonable timeline, if they're reaching for the stars there, no idea. But I guess not too much has changed from their original idea of coming back, where they kind of split it in half between East Coast, West Coast, and then they have someone somewhere in the middle. They have like a, whatever you can Midwestern division as well. But I hope it comes back. I think that'd be exciting. I'd love to see that kind of shake up in divisions and something fun. I don't know about you guys.
We would, based off the projected divisions, the Padres it would basically be a 2-horse race to win that division between them and the Brewers. Every other team that's in that division, or that would be sharing it with them, they're all like the bottom feeders in all of baseball. It's like,
all right.
Yeah, I don't know if it would be quite as sweet because that it would be it wouldn't be the same as winning the NL West, but
it would still be a sweet.
We haven't had a winning season since 2010, so I'll take what I can get at this point.
I will riot in the street if they win it.
No, don't do that. You got to stay social distant.
I'll wear a mask.
I'm seeing a lot of pundits picking Yankees versus Padres with this projected division format. I'm like, what the hell?
Damn. Hopefully they call that third strike a ball, right, B?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
God. No, they did call it a ball.
Oh, whatever it is.
He was supposed to be struck out on that play.
Oh god, I got him spiraling.
Why did you do that?
Hit a grand slam on the next pitch.
I'm stopping my video too.
You started it.
Oh no. Yeah, I mean, I'm excited for it. I hope that they can get something going. It seems that things are starting to change for the better. So
last I heard, according to Shams, NBA's throwing around the idea of playing all their games at Disney World. That'll be interesting. So you could tell that all the big heads for all these the commissioners, and they're getting creative, and I think all the conventional thoughts are going out the window at this point because everyone understands that this is a unique year, and honestly I think this is a good opportunity for these sports to kind of experiment with things because they kind of have no one's going to question them for it at this point because we're just happy that we're going to get to watch something, and we know you have to do something different. So this is a good opportunity to be, productive, I guess, out of it.
I was listening to a podcast and they were talking about basketball coming back and all this kind of stuff, and they threw the idea out that the NBA should do a March Madness style bracket, single elimination. What do you think about that?
No, I'm not down for it.
Not down for that? I think it would be interesting to see everybody play and everybody get an equal chance, all that kind of stuff. I think it would be entertaining.
No, you're just throwing. They played too much of the regular season for that. I don't know. They played They play like 75% of the season.
Yeah, I think there's like 17 games left or something.
Yeah, so it's like, to me, you're like, all right, well, you're just writing off too much hard work just to give everybody a chance at winning it all.
Yeah.
Not that I think the Phoenix Suns or the Chicago Bulls or I'm trying to think of the Hawks, I think might have been the worst team at the time.
The Golden State Warriors.
The Warriors, that's who it was. Yeah. Not that I think that they could conceivably knock off like the Lakers or the Clippers, but just
you never know.
The off chance that they do, like, come on. Like,
yeah.
That'd just be messed up. You're like, all right, one game takes away 5 games worth or whatever.
Yeah, it'd be funny. But all right, everybody, we are the Three Amigos and a podcast. Thanks for joining us for another week, and we'll be back next week.
Later, guys. All right, dude.